Hi, my name is Michelle Hess, and I'm coming from the briefing room, and we're doing a debrief with Brianna Calero. We're just having a conversation, and I can't wait to share what we're going to talk about. But to kick us off, I thought we would start a little bit differently. I want to know what's on your playlist. What are you listening to?
Oh my gosh.
What's your favorite song? Whatever. Just tell me what are you vibing to right now?
Oh, right now, a lot of instrumental music, actually.
Okay, I am doing the same thing, and my husband mocked me for it.
I get made fun of too, because I had my sister in my car the other day and she's like, "What are you listening to?" And it was like a shofar in the background. And I'm like, don't worry about it. But yeah, lots of instrumental, like guitar or just like chill vibes. Right.
Do you have like
for
an
me.
artist in particular that we can share?
Yeah, his name, I'm going to butcher his name. I don't know exactly how to say it. Reinhard Burr, I think is how you say that. I'm obsessed with him. He's somewhere in the UK, I believe.
Okay.
But actually, I was at an event in London and we did like a breath work workshop, and his songs, he played a couple of his songs, the instructor played a couple of his songs, and I literally felt like tangible. I don't even know what to explain or how to explain it, but his music like touched my soul, like touched me. And
Yeah.
I love it so much. And so now it's something that I play regularly. That's like always on.
I'm so glad you said where you found it, because I'm like, how do you find an artist from the UK?
Yeah,
And so,
I was there. I
Yeah.
was doing the workshop and I had like an amazing experience. And so
Yeah.
I think people that are high performing, like I'm always learning, I'm always doing, I'm using my brain at 100 most days. Like I burn really hot for really long. And so for me, the instrumental music does something that it's like only feeling, and I don't have to use my brain to keep track of lyrics, even like subconsciously. Like if you put on a song, you might be singing to it or while you're doing housework or whatever. And for some reason, something with instrumental music that is, it just feels like a feeling to me, and not using my brain is so relaxing.
I agree. So I've been doing just like lots of soundtracks. So just my favorite soundtracks, whether it's The Lion King or the
love it.
F1 movie. Very a huge Hans Zimmer fan.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I just put it on the other day. I'm like, I'm just gonna hang in the backyard, and it was. You're right. I think we get inundated with so many messages, so many just notifications, all the things where it almost broke through that numbness, where it forces you to feel it if you are paying attention and listening to it. And as a musician, so I was in band and did all those things. Like it's just like I can picture like the orchestra, and I can picture the different instruments and where they're coming in, and the conductor, and it just, I don't know, it just brought up feelings. And yeah, so I agree.
Another amazing one, Ryan O'Neal. He is known as Sleeping at Last, and he has different albums. There's a couple I think called like the Atlas, and there's like a space theme, or he does Enneagram, if anyone knows what Enneagram. So he'll have like an Enneagram 1 through 9, like different songs for each Enneagram, but it's all instrumental. In those particular albums, he does not sing. And I did this really fun thing with my daughter the other day. We were driving in the car, and she was like, "Mom, what are you listening to?" She's like, "Can you put on Justin Bieber?" And I'm like, "No, we're going to listen to Sleeping at Last." And then I said, Scarlett, do me a favor, just close your eyes and feel the music and tell me what colors you see. And she was like, "Oh, I see purple and blue." And then randomly she goes, "Oh, I see a ninja." And I was like, "And what is he doing?" And she's like, "Now he's fighting." And it was so much fun. And we were going to Trader Joe's. We went to the grocery store, got our groceries, and she said, "Mom, can we do that again? That thing where you put the music on and you asked me what I see?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I don't know. I feel like, again, there's just something, at least for me, that it is a break almost, or it is like very soothing. But then at the same time, like if I'm paying attention to it, it does make me feel these things or come alive in a way that's just different for me. Maybe in this season, like where I'm at, because I'm so overwhelmed and overstimulated by things. That's what I'm listening to.
Okay, so I swear we did not coordinate this. We didn't say, "Hey, what's on your, like, you should check out this playlist ahead of time." So drop in the comments, what is on your playlist right now? Is it instrumental? Is it an artist? Like, what's going on with you? So I'd love to hear that. So why don't we tell people what you do? Like,
Okay.
what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Who you are. And yeah, let's go there.
Okay. So I'm a connection marketer is kind of what I start with.
I've never heard anybody introduce themselves that way.
Really?
It's either just like, oh, I do marketing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's connection marketing.
Yeah,
I like
no,
that.
I'm a connection marketer. I know that there's a lot of stuff out there about connection and things like that, but these are terms that I like to just say I'm inventing myself. So like if people are like, that's not a thing, it's not. I'm saying it and so it's gonna become a thing because I'm saying it. Yeah, I believe in the connection economy and I believe that I'm a connection marketer. But most people would say like I'm a fractional CMO. So they'll know that.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. No, it's
talk about it.
Yeah, it's just a chief marketing officer. So
Okay.
up at the C-suite where you have like your CEO, your CFO, your CPO. I mean, there's so many new C's, like the people officers and the COOs, right? A CMO would sit up there on the C-suite and would be in charge of marketing. Some people even identify as like a CRO, so chief revenue officer, which I love RevOps. I'm a huge RevOps nerd and I can get into that. But I am predominantly a connection marketer, CFO, or fractional CMO, excuse me. And I own an agency, a full service marketing agency. But yeah, I've been doing this for just a short time. I'm coming up on 3 years this year.
Wow.
And before this, I was a social worker by trade. So I'm a social worker turned strategist. I tell people, and I studied human behavior and worked in the field for well over a decade.
Yeah. So we met at a chamber event. I think it was like one of the so the city of Buckeye we have our own chamber for the city of Buckeye. But then I had gotten invited to go to this like Southwest regional one. And the running joke ended up being, well, Michelle from Buckeye's here by herself. Michelle from Buckeye should join.
I remember.
And it became this like thing. And I remember you and your meeting your husband there. Like, oh, you're from Buckeye.
Yeah.
We're thinking about expanding into Buckeye. And that's kind of how we got introduced to each other was these goofy moment at the chamber event. And it kind of took off from there. So we had an opportunity to do some work together personally on some different projects. And it was a joy getting to know you. And you just have such an incredible heart for people and for giving back. And so I know you touched on a couple things in your intro, but what is a problem that you feel like you solve really well that most companies are just missing? I think we get so into the day-to-day of the urgent or what we're really good at that sometimes we miss the obvious or what seems like obvious to somebody else. So like what's a problem that you really love solving for different clients?
Yeah, so I have come to realize, I think in systems, my brain naturally categorizes. It's like Inception or like a multiverse or something, because I see like system all the way, like macro, meso, micro, always in my life. It can be like my kids asking me for shoes and I'm like, let's think about this. So I would say first coming into businesses, one of the things that I've noticed is depending on the stage of business that you're in. So I work a lot with startups and startups looking to scale, and there are problems there. I've seen some enterprise and worked just like here and there with enterprise companies, and their issues are very much different. But I bring a revenue operations lens to everything, regardless of business size or stage. So I would say when I'm working with my startups and my startups looking to scale, the main problem that I solve is the system that they need in order to have recurring or like predictable revenue. So that's where revenue operations comes from. Okay. That's where CROs are usually ahead of, or a CMO like myself would be able to come in and say, okay, how I break it down, because it feels, you know how we say like church words?
Yeah.
Like it feels like business word. Like if I'm saying revenue operations and recurring revenue and, you know, like your client acquisition costs, a lot of people kind of go glassy eyed on me. So I break it up in that, like, it's how people find you, how they buy from you, how they stay from you. It's a 3-part system. Every business needs it, regardless of how big or how small. And I think that's the largest problem I see when I go into small to mid-sized businesses. It's either non-existent, the founders or the CEOs have no idea what that is, or it's like pieced, siloed. And so the whole system has to work together. And that's the biggest problem I solve, is I'm saying like, because small businesses will say, well, like, I don't need to invest in marketing. Yes, you do, because how are people finding you? And once they find you, how do you convert that, or how do you turn them into a customer? That's sales. And then how do you keep them? Because most of the times when I go in and I audit a business, they'll say like, we need marketing and we're going to put all of our money towards that. And I'm like, actually, when I look at your system, there's a huge opportunity, and it would be better to spend 50% of your budget or 60% of your budget on retention, on keeping your existing clients and creating a recurring kind of like retainer model, or, whatever that looks like, rather than investing all of whatever percentage into new customers. So you have to, it's a huge machine, and it all has to be working together, and it all has to be consistent. So that,
do you feel like
biggest.
Most startups miss all three, or do you think they lean towards like one? Ooh. Is there like a more dominant one that people seem to fail to remember to do?
What I have seen is most people focus on marketing, but like even they'll piecemeal that. Like I want to say 99% of my clients that come to me, that become my client, have asked me for ads. They come to me because they're like, we know Pastel can run ads. We know you know how to do ads. Can you run campaigns? So that's the number one thing I get asked to do. Yes. And I feel like people think, oh, if I pay money to, I call it like getting eyeballs, right? Like my job is to get the most eyeballs at the first part of that. Yeah. It's a bow tie. So at the first part of the bow tie is to get eyeballs. I don't know. People for some reason think like, let's just pay and let's just get those eyeballs. Yeah. But
I think we're living in that social media world, right? That like I just bought a pair of shoes because I just kept seeing the ad and I kept seeing the ad.
Yes.
And
they work.
It works.
Yes.
So I can see where somebody's like, oh, if I can just get them to buy the one pair of shoes, I swear they'll be hooked.
Yeah.
But if there's not that next piece of, well, here's your follow-up, here's your coupon, here's your whatever it is afterward.
Like that's what I tell people is like, you see that one ad that converted you, but I promise there were touch points before that. So like Nike is however long they've been in business. I should really look it up because they're like a really good
there's
example.
a movie about it.
Is it? Yeah. So they're a long-standing brand. Yeah. So you could venture to say, well, there's 50 years of touch points, or no matter how old you are. Like I could say for 40 years I've been influenced by Nike to eventually purchase from them. So there's a lot of the back end, the front end, like there's a lot that goes into it. And what I often start with is ads are accelerators, but you need an initiator before you can accelerate. So you have to have ads as a part of your strategy, but I have like a framework that I've built, and it's a pyramid, and I built it in that shape because in order to build a pyramid, you have to have a strong foundation. And so I'll show them the foundation here and everything that entails. And I literally put ads at the very top of the pyramid. And so like, this is where your accelerator and your ads go, but you have to have this like big fat base at the bottom to make sure that you're supporting that, because you can actually shoot yourself in the foot if people are coming to buy your products and things don't work, or the products aren't there, or, whatever. There's like a million reasons why not.
So what's a good question so I'm a small business technically. So what's a great first question that I could figure out where it's failing or I don't know. Yeah. How can I help? Pretend you're helping me.
Yeah.
What would you ask me today if we were just like talking about my business today?
I wouldn't ask you one question. I'd probably start with 15.
Probably but you and I both love asking questions. Yes. And so we would actually just hours of questions. But where would we start?
Yes. I always start with like, tell me about your business. How does it work? And what does success look like for you? Like, what is a win? What are you trying to get out of this? And I immediately it's because I'm trying to find the values of the business. And then it's almost like connecting the dots. Like, what are your values? What does success look like for you in a dream world? Like, what are we trying to build here? What are we trying to accomplish, and why?
That's interesting you say that, because I feel like values is so much more important than people give them credit for.
Oh my gosh,
yes. We always say, oh, what's the what's the mission statement on the wall? What's the vision? Yeah. But the values piece often gets skipped, or it's just like, I don't know, we focus so much energy up here that we miss that part. And yet I feel like almost the values drive it way more than the other two almost. And
it's the first thing I do.
Yeah. But people are like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, and they just pick the random ones that everybody picks. Well, we're going to be a company of integrity. We're going to be a company. Like, they just pick the random buzzwords that are seen everywhere else. But how do you get people to actually ask those questions if you can't hear them? Like, is there been ever a client where you're like,
all of them.
I'm hearing like just buzzwords. I don't actually hear you.
Yeah. This is again like the church words analogy, or I say like, or King James version. Like, not a lot of people understand. You don't understand a lot of that either. But when I read the Message or I read ESV, I'm like, oh, okay, I get what you're trying to say. Like, why couldn't you have just said that in the first place?
Yeah.
So that's what I do with businesses is I'll say, and we do the MVP statement. So your mission, vision, and purpose first. I will say, okay, here's my homework. I'm going to immediately submerge myself in market research, and I'm going to see who are the other pirates we're fighting in this ocean and where should we be taking our pirate ship, so I can help lead in that way. But then I need you as the founder to tell me, like, I am actually not driving the ship. You are, right? Like, I, as the FCMO, am coming in to help you man the ship, and I'm like the fight. Like, I will make the plans for us to fight and like throw nets and fish. Like, I can help us eat. I'm making the revenue. I'm going to architect your entire revenue system within your business.
Yeah.
But I need you to tell me where the heck we're going. Where do you want us to go? What islands are we trying to, like, are we looking for buried treasure or are we looking for the Kraken? Like, do you want clout or do you want, like, what do you want? And help me understand that. And a lot of the times I will get founders that, one, don't know, or two, do know, but they don't know how to say it in a way that people can connect. And a lot of the times they'll say like, what, sometimes I get like tantrums, like legit. They'll be like, why are we doing this? And I'm like, I promise.
I'm like, haven't we answered this question like 5 times already? And I was like, come on.
Yeah.
But you were asking it from different angles to make sure. I could see how you flesh it out, but I'm like, oh my gosh. So anybody out there that's doing this exercise,
it can be frustrating.
Give it time, give it space. Don't rush it. Don't think. To me, I'm just like, I'm going to sit down for an hour and I'm going to get it all done. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not.
And like, what am I saying? Because to your point, a lot of people will say like, oh, our value is integrity. And that's probably like the number one. And I would say that's even a number one value for me. But
have you ever met anybody that's like, I actually don't want to run my business with like,
how many businesses start off by saying, I'm going to scam you? There are some, yes, but it's very few, like a small percentage. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's open that up. Like, let's, one of my mentors, her name is Jill Kim, amazing executive coach. She taught me this term called suitcase words. And she's like, what you use certain words when you're talking, and it's like a suitcase. Like, you're saying integrity, I'm saying integrity, but we might be saying different things. So open up that suitcase. Like, let's open that up and show me what's in there and take out the garments, right? So that's what I try to do with my clients, where I'm like, I know you get this because you've seen it, you've dreamt about it, you're living it. But everyone on the outside world, I often see this trend almost where like the founder's like, yeah. And then when we go to market, it's just this huge letdown because it's like, no one gets what I'm building. And I'm like, I know, that's what I was trying to prepare you for. Not everyone's going to get it, but it's my job, right, to help you bring your vision to life, to communicate. So like the storytelling aspect is huge in marketing and RevOps. It's huge because we have to interpret the story, not so that you and I can understand it, but so that the people who are going to be engaging with your product or service can understand it and resonate with it and connect with it. And so sometimes I think it can feel like a stripping down for startups, for founders, because it's a very personal thing. And I think that's where, again, my values come into play. My 2 main values are love and wonder. And so love is a suitcase word that I would open up to say like integrity, generosity, hospitality, like caring for people. Yeah. And so I actually try to walk with my founders and CEOs or the C-suite and really come from a place of like empathy and understanding, but also like, I'm going to kick butt and like, let's freaking do this. Yeah. So I can bring both of those to be like, dude, I get it. I know how hard it is to see parts of you and your vision be stripped away. And I think it feels like a stripping away, but I try to explain it's like a birthing. Like birth is not easy. It's not clean. It's not fun. Like birthing a child is very, very painful. And so, I sometimes tell my clients, think of me like a midwife. Like, this is going to hurt, but I'm going to be here every step of the way. And we'll get through this because once the baby is born, you'll see, like it'll be worth it.
some things that helped for me is I know we take leaders through a values exercise, and we just have a sheet of like 15 or 20 to start with. And it's obviously not, values are, there's a lot of them. So we just kind of help you get started. But I think taking that list and then really going and looking at the definitions, to your point, that suitcase, some people interpret these words differently. So it was really having a good starting place for those that need some kind of outline that just can't think it up. And the other one is just asking your friends and people close to you, like what would you say that my values are? Because people closest to you know, and they can tell you. And that's like, if you start seeing these, reoccurring values, I think that's easiest.
Yes.
But it takes work, right? Again, they're not gonna be able to help you with your mission and vision probably, but the people around you probably could help you with these other things.
Absolutely. And this is again where I start. Like when I'm starting with a startup, sometimes my more established, like when businesses that are looking to scale will have a lot of this stuff. And so it's just kind of filling in holes. But this is like the bulk of my brand strategy is I will go through this, and we do exercises to find your values, and I'll like walk through. I mean, it can be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Sometimes people stall here, and it's like, okay, we just got
whole summer.
Yeah, yes, because it's really, really hard, especially if you are in that startup where you're, again, you just have the dream and you haven't put anything to paper. So I will also communicate, like, be patient, but this is part of it because everything then gets built around that. So I'll explain, like, so when we're putting out content, when you see like, I don't know, whatever online, or when we start doing ads or when we start doing events or whatever, like if there's something inside of you, like this doesn't feel right. And I'm not just talking like, I don't like this is cringe. No, sometimes every now and again, I'll get a founder or CEO that says like, this something feels off. And I will immediately go back to the values and say, does it clash with the value and the foundation of who your business is? Like, because your business is an entity. We say that, right? Like we say it's an entity. And to me, I see it as like a living organism. And so if there's something wrong, if there's something that feels off, I'm connected with HR people through a client of mine. And so I've gone to a few of their events, and I absolutely love HR people. I fell in love with it. I always thought human resources was like boring, and it's like W-2s and talks and, all the things. But I found that they're actually like, they're culture drivers within a company. And so I've kind of learned this from them, that like just culture in general of your business, both inside and out, like is a thing, is something to be considered, is something to be curious about, is something to design. Because ultimately we need this to like be a business and work and make money. But I think we can do that with like businesses having a soul. I think you can still love. And I think I trip people out when I talk about business and love in the same context, because people are like, what are you talking about? What the heck? But I'm like, no, like at the end of the day, we are humans, human to human, trying to connect. And yes, I want your money, right? That would be nice because it's my livelihood and my business. But also I believe so heavily in what I'm bringing to the table that I think it can change your life. And there is a transaction happening, but I think it can be wholesome. I think it can be pure. And that's how I call myself a hopeless romantic in business and marketing, because that's how I see it. I genuinely feel like this is what changing lives is about. This is what living the dream is about. Like for myself, for my husband, for you who have a business, but also connecting with people who we genuinely feel would be better off. Like,
well, let's go there. I feel like that's almost one of your secret ingredients for you. Like you said, you bring love and
wonder.
So in your love suitcase, like, what does that even mean?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Because again, like there's different kinds of loves. Like, what does that mean in business?
Okay. So I'll start by saying the buzzword of all buzzwords right now, AI.
Yeah.
So as our world becomes way more artificial, as AI and technology integrate fully into our culture and our systems and who we are, because it's happening real time, right? There's like BC and AC. There's like before AI and after AI now. And a lot of people, it's the same with www, right? When the internet happened, there's us that remember before internet and us that remember after, and how different our lives were. And so we're going through like another huge change in the world right now with technology. And I think the more I love technology, I love AI. I use it every single day. It's on my phone. It's in my pocket. I'm getting ready this morning, doing my hair and makeup, and I'm talking to it. And I'm like, let's have a conversation about this. And I'm asking it questions. And I'm talking, I call it like my C-3PO from Star Wars. Like he is my robot and I love him. But with that, it's like a pendulum swing. With that huge swing into technology, I think there's going to be this this is like my prophecy for the business world, a huge swing back and a need for human connection. And so when you ask me like, how do you bring love and wonder and what the heck does that mean? I think that like there is going to be and will always be, and especially now, a need for human connection, but like genuine human connection. And so if I were to start to unpack that, I think it comes through like hospitality and generosity and not being naive to business and how it works and how it runs and what you need from it. Not being naive to that, but understanding that like we are here to serve people. And I read this amazing book by somebody called Seth Godin called This Is Marketing. He wrote a book called This Is Marketing.
Oh, I don't even think I've heard of that one.
It's
interesting.
I'm obsessed with him. He is a great writer.
Yeah, I've read other stuff by him. I didn't know that was...
Yes, This Is Marketing. Yeah, it's an orange book. And that's the very first marketing book I ever read. It's not practical. It's like all philosophy. But it was perfect for me because when I was trying to figure out like, what do I want to do? There's this thing right now that's trending. I forget what it is. It's like the millennial awakening or the millennial crisis or something for my age group. It's a career crisis.
Oh.
And there's stats and things that are coming out about it. And there's like an exorbitant amount of millennials that are leaving their careers, that are like completely shifting and changing. And I'm part of that because that happened to me 6, 7, maybe 10 years ago now. But my husband handed me this book while I was a stay-at-home mom with my kids and I was going crazy. I was like, I need purpose. I need something. I'm an Enneagram 8, so maybe that's why I like am so tied to like purpose and justice and doing things for people. But he handed me this book and was like, I think you'd be good at marketing. And I'm like, what even is marketing? I don't even know what that is. Like, it's fake. That's not real. That's not a real job. And in this book, Seth Godin basically talks about marketing as a service to others and a way to serve. Like genuinely, at its core, marketing is serving others. So yes, it's like the find, buy, stay model, but it's deeper than that at an emotional level. It's how can I serve you, like genuinely. And I just latched onto that. That made my heart soar, where I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to serve others, and I want to be able to use my skills in a way that would do that. So that's how I see marketing. It's I get to team up with you, like as a founder, and make your dream come true and serve you and serve the people that you're serving as well. So yeah.
So I know we both had seen a same speaker, and I think he's also an author. I don't even want to try to say this guy's name, but I saw him at a
Will
leadership
Guidara?
summit. Yes.
Oh,
that gentleman.
yes. I love him.
Say it again.
Will Guidara. Will Guidara.
Yeah, I guess it's not that hard. I don't know what
it's okay.
In my head, I thought it was harder. But he has a book out as well.
Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So I got to hear his story at a conference. I think you also saw him, and it sounds like he did a slightly different thing. And then you got his book. I didn't get the book.
Yeah.
Let's unpack that for a minute, just because you've read more.
Yeah.
So go ahead and tell the
I'm
audience.
a super fan.
His story, or the one that he at least tells about in the book.
Yeah. Okay. I'm torn because I also want to tell the story of when I saw him in person.
Well, you can tell both. So let's just set up who he is.
Okay.
The restaurant.
11 Madison Park.
Yes. Let's start there.
He was front of the house at a restaurant in New York. Really bougie restaurant. I forget. There's like terms within the hospitality industry that I just don't remember.
We don't know those.
Yeah.
We're not in that.
It's really like a really cool thing, a really important guy. Just know that. Like a really high-end type of restaurant. And I think he talked about like a culture shift within the restaurant industry of like, there were like really bougie restaurants and you would pay thousands or hundreds of dollars to like experience these meals. And then there was like a dip in the culture where it was like not so cool anymore. And him and the main chef were like, no, we want to keep this alive. Like they had a passion for like, we want people to experience this and to be experiential. So he grew up in the hospitality industry and he tells his story there and kind of like the path that they took or that he took to get to that point. But basically in the book, he talks about how he discovered, like he calls it, I think, the hospitality economy. And the story is that he was basically bussing a table because he believed he has similar values and like serving and being like hands-on and genuinely caring about people, connecting with people. And so he built that culture within the staff. But he said one day he was bussing tables and he overheard a group of, I think it was like 4 adults that had flown from Europe to New York to experience, like went on a food tour. And they talked about how they had like the most amazing high-end, like food and experience, but they were laughing because they're like, we didn't even have like a New York hot dog. Like isn't that like isn't that what people come to New York for? Right. And so he said that he just had this random idea, like, I'm gonna go buy them a hot dog because they have to experience it. Like as a New Yorker, he's like, that's a staple. So he goes out, he buys it, he comes back and he tells his chef, like, well, you played it for me. And they have this argument where his chef is like, we're like this top tier restaurant, I'm not gonna put a freaking hot dog on a plate. And he's like, just do it. So he cuts it in 4. He like puts ketchup and mustard and like makes it look pretty. And he's like, fine. And he takes it to the table and he tells them like, I'm so sorry to have eavesdropped, but I heard you guys say that you hadn't had a New York hot dog and I know you're leaving and I just can't have you leave without trying this. And he said that the noise that came out of those 4 adults was like, he said it literally viscerally did something to his body because they just started like screaming like, what? Well, thank you for doing this, blah, blah. And they like had the hot dog and it was this big old experience. And he was like, it was like a drug. Like he's like, I do have to say, like, hospitality is almost it's not selfless in that you don't feel something because it was so infectious. It was so instant. Something changed in me that I was like, I need to do this again, he said. And so from there, he just starts explaining these amazing encounters with people. And this is where all of this is in the book, but I saw him live.
Well, and I love what he did with his staff. He knew that the people closest to the people that were coming to dine in, the customers themselves, were the ones that were hearing these stories. It wasn't going to be him. So I love how he took that and empowered all of his wait staff to be able to, they get a budget. And like, if you hear something like that, go make it happen. And so the countless stories of these servers are now taking ownership of people's experiences. And making it special, whether it was a newborn or an engagement or like the stories that were coming out of that. And just when you empower, that was a culture, right? Like that was a values that they wanted to embody. Gave them not only like, hey, I'm giving you power and authority to do this, but I'm also going to resource you to do this. Like that's so powerful. That's what I loved hearing. Like I love touching people and like having those experiences, but I love when you get a whole group doing like that. Stood out to me.
Well, this is why I think he is a genius and why I'm such a fan is there was like 2 parts to it. So this is where I think some leaders can really, really like shoot themselves in the foot is they think they have to do it and they're the only ones that can do it, right? But he did not take that approach.
No, there's no way he could like, run the business and be the busboy and be the server and the like he knew that.
So he immediately was like, he said that he got his whole team, the whole, like all the staff they were like in an 8-hour meeting or something. He's like, we had meals, we had everything. And he said, get cozy because we are going to go through every single touch point. So the marketing nerd in me wants to let you know that like we're up to like almost 50 touch points right now just to make a sale. Just so you know, it went from like 3 to 5 to 9 to 11. And now a lot of people are writing that if you want to make a sale, you need 50 at minimum 50 touch points, right? Goodness. So that means digitally, in person, it means all of these things. But anyway, he said that I can't remember the exact numbers, but they went from like starting with, let's say 30 touch points, like somebody comes in, touch point, the hostess, right? Write down your name, give them a wait time, another touch point. Go to sit down and somebody says, can I get you a glass of water or wine, whatever, touch point. Like they went from like 30 touch points all the way, like hours and hours and hours to like 156. He was like, what can we, he's like, think about like the check, or if they're going to the bathroom, or like he was like obsessive at this point. Like we need to figure out every single time we're touching our customers and what does that look like? Because he started to just take apart. This is like the architect. We say revenue architecture. To me, like an architect will literally look at every single beam and the foundation and the big things, but all the little details. And then he prepped his team for that. And he was like, he talked about in the book, almost like a dance, that they would have like routines. The staff would know, I'm taking these steps to do these things. When I come here, if I'm going to be serving the appetizer, I'm going here. And it was like this choreographed thing, which to me, I'm like, as a high performer myself, I'm obsessed with the idea that somebody would be so detailed in making that experience so grand or great. It's not even grand. It's like deep, connected, that he would do that. Yeah. And then the second thing he did, that was his culture and team. The second thing he did is he said, we need to invest. This is so important and this is so impactful that we need to invest in one person to do this job. So to me, I think about this and I like get the chills again, because I'm such a nerd, where he created a position called the Dream Weaver. Oh. And as opposed to like, again, like trying to, and I understand budget. Again, I understand money. But so many like businesses are like tight, like gripped, like we can't spend money on this. We can't do this. Or if there's no direct payback, like I don't want to do it. I'm not going to invest. A lot of times I will say to my clients, like we should invest in generosity and hospitality and these things. They're like, absolutely not, because like, we're not going to get anything from it. How much is that going to cost me? And what am I going to get? And Will Guidara said, there's nothing that we're going to get per se. Although he later explains, like he got so much from it too, but they invested in a brand new position and hired what they call the Dream Weaver. And their only job was to be in the dining area and listen and pay attention. Wow. And so that's how they started creating these like crazy experiences for people, is that one person, me as Brianna, all I'm getting paid to do. Imagine that investment, that like the budget for that person to just go and listen and then create those experiences. And he has so many stories of people crying.
So what's your experience? You actually...
Yes, I experienced him too.
You experienced it.
And I was literally crying. So it's funny because I was throwing a fit that day. I was throwing a tantrum. I was in DC. I'm part of a really cool business group called Pavilion. And it's a bunch of SaaS executives. So software as a system executives. And they had a keynote and it said Will Guidara. I didn't know him at this time. Yeah. And I was like, do I want to stay for this? Like I had been through all of these like talks and, like the booths and all the business things. And I was kind of getting weary. And it was like towards the end of the day. And I was like, something literally told me like, stay, Brianna, you freaking paid for the, like I paid like $1,000 for my ticket. You may as well stay. Like why not? So, despite the fact that I, wanted to leave, I stayed, and this man walks on the stage, and it was literally like what the kids call aura. Like he just had aura, and I literally felt the crowd go like to him. And he didn't say like, hey, he wasn't loud. He just stood there, and then he just started talking, and I was immediately intrigued. And I think that says something about the kind of person that he is, not to like glorify in any way, but I just think like how we present ourselves, how we show up when it's genuine, you can tell. So like first and foremost, this guy is real. Like he's not like selling something. And he's going through all these stories and he's asking people like, how many of you have gotten engaged at a restaurant? Like restaurants play such an important part in our life. And a bunch of people raised their hands, and he just so happened to call on the guy next to me. And he's like, did they give you champagne? Like, was it a beautiful experience? And the guy was like, no, they didn't do anything. And everybody started laughing because he's like, that's a crappy restaurant. And everybody just starts laughing. He was like, sorry, I don't mean to like, like poo on your, like we listen and we don't judge. Yeah. But so he goes on to say like restaurants are a part of people's lives. It's like what we do, it's what we experience. And so he said that he ran across the street to Tiffany's and asked them for like 250 flutes, like engagement wedding sets, so that when people came, they would serve them champagne in the flutes, and then they would take them back, wash them, dry them, pack them, and say, this is our gift to you. You know, like, thank you for choosing 11 Madison to be a part of your story forever. Like that will forever be a piece of your story. And so again, he's just going time and time again, story after story. And I'm like, I think I was crying because it unlocked something in me that day where I was like, this is what I meant to do. How can I bring this into my realm, my sphere? Yeah. Like everything that I touch, I want to bring what I call the connection economy. Like he calls it hospitality economy, but to me, I'm like, it's broader for me anyway. But so he's going through, and then, you know, he gives his talk and he's like, I'm Will Guidara. Thank you for listening. And he runs off the stage and he comes out. He's like, oh, 1 second. He runs off the stage. He grabs a bottle of champagne. Somebody hands him like a bottle of champagne, and he runs down the aisle to the guy next to me and he hands him the champagne. He said, they should have celebrated you. Congrats. And everyone around me like stands to their feet and starts cheering like, oh my God. And I was like, there's a dream weaver in the audience. There's a dream weaver. Like because he's giving a whole hour keynote.
Yeah.
Again, these little details where he could have just left, and I was already touched by the talk. I was already in tears. But the fact that they set it up like, hey, let's do something for somebody, and somebody was listening and said, I'm going to run out and grab a bottle of champagne, come back. Oh, it was just, he has changed my life completely.
So not only are you a marketing guru for people, but you are a dream weaver.
Yes.
That's
for
your goal.
Ups, yeah.
For your clients.
Yes.
Is to be that dream weaver, to hear what sometimes they don't even hear themselves, to give that uncommon hospitality. And I love that.
Yeah.
I just love that. Because you're right. In AI or whatever, like people, even if we think about it, we maybe have the bandwidth. We don't have that capacity because we're all being pushed a little bit harder, making things stretch a lot further, whether it's your energy, resources, whatever it is. So I think you're right. I think that's what people desperately want and desire, whether they can verbalize it or not.
Yeah. I think life is hard. We all know that.
Yeah.
I think life is life. We all know that and can relate to that. But I think what makes it unbearable, maybe, is when you're doing it alone. So like there are these things in my head that's like, I've talked to you about, like, I don't like that there's like business culture and regular culture, like who I am outside of business.
Right.
Like I do think, because people use this in church too, like, well, if you're going to the courtroom, you should dress nice. Like if you're going to church, the house of God, you should dress nice. And I'm not saying like show up in your bathing suit to business, right? I'm not saying like go in like being crazy. What I am saying though is like, if we can just be like ourselves in every, like, I think we should be ourselves no matter what. So if you're a t-shirt and jeans kind of person, be that always. And it shouldn't necessarily matter to an extent, right? Like, because again, some people were like, well, what about a courthouse? Like, I think if I'm going to your house, I'm going to ask you, do I take my shoes off? Because I'll take my shoes off. But if you don't care, then I'm gonna come in with my cowgirl boots, like, I think you have to respect the house, respect the business. But I just think that like business culture is a little bit stiff for me. I use this word and my husband hates it. He's like, stop saying that. And I'm like, it's sterile. It's a sterile environment and I don't like it. And so I think that's something that like Will Guidara showed me, and why I was so touched is because when I look at the business world, I see technology, I see all the like, wow, this is a rocket, right? Like there's so much cool innovation. It's the Wild West out there. Like as I'm meeting with people and businesses, I'm like, this is so freaking cool. And a lot of people are scared. And I would be lying if I said I'm not afraid. But there's also something in me that's like, let's go. Like I think I'm a pioneer. Like I really attach to innovators. And so when I see all of this happening with technology, with people, like you're looking at the larger strategy, the larger trends. Again, this is like that more, how macro can I go?
Right.
I want to see the planet, right? Like there's something that's telling me like, it's doing it alone that sucks. It's when we take away the human element, and technology doesn't mean we have to remove it. I just think those of us that can see these things, that love people, that like genuinely want humanity to change for the better or to accelerate or whatever that looks like. Like, I think it's very important for us to like show people like, and go in tandem with that. And I think if either one of those starts to get wobbly, that's when things get really weird.
It almost sounds like that's one of your values though too. Like, I want to find the other pioneers. I want those that are willing to try. And maybe the sterile client, I mean, that's just a different
way to think.
That's a different way to think. That's like a different feel. And I'm sure there's an element you can help. But like, I think you're really after these, you're going to go further and faster with the ones that fit your values even. Even though you're here for hire for anybody.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to turn a client down?
I do. Yes,
Okay.
actually. Yes, I do. I've told a few, like, I don't think we are a fit. So like there are red
For
flags.
the record, we were a fit.
Let the record state.
Let the record state. I just wanted to reflect. Well, whoever's reflecting and checking boxes.
Yes, because we did work together. Yes. No, there are some companies like I will ask. I've kind of like I'm starting to realize like I need to have value questions of my own to like it's like pre-qualify when you like qualify your clients to make sure that they're like an MQL or an SQL, like a qualified lead. I do that for myself to qualify like, hey, I don't think we're going to work. And I will ask questions like, you know, how do you feel about generosity? How do you feel about people? Like, how do you view, and I suss it out immediately, like before, you know, in our sales calls. And I will tell them like, I can refer you to somebody who will just do ads for you. So that's happened a lot where they're like, I need ads or I just need this piece. And I tell them like, unfortunately, my business model is not pieced out like that. Like if you just need like a quick fix, but I use this analogy where I'm like, I'm the girl you take home and you want to have kids with. Like Pastel is like, we will build you a home. And that's my value as a business owner is we're not out there just looking to date and to have fun. We're looking for people who are like, I want to get serious about this. I love my business and I'm willing to invest in people.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not naive to say like, let's just blow all the money on this thing, you know, but I will also look like, do you have enough budget to sustain? Because these systems that we're building do take time and you're not like, virality is a huge thing that people come to me for too. Like, how do I become viral? How do I go viral on a post? And again, there's like a lot of stuff before and after that I try to explain to people. That's not how it works, right? Like, again, AI, our friend, we call him algorithm. AI has been around for a long time. We just know it because of the LLMs like ChatGPT and Perplexity, Gemini, all this stuff. But like, there's a lot of rules to play by. And I think this is also why it's important to get a marketing nerd on your team is to even understand. Like, I haven't even gotten into SEO or AEO and all the things that go into like being found. So but
right. So as we are wrapping up this interview, what's a tip or something you would encourage people listening to I don't know, better serve their customers or even for themselves? Because you touched on a couple things we didn't get to really unpack, but being an entrepreneur or leader can sometimes feel lonely.
Oh, extremely.
And you've gone out of your way to make sure that you've surrounded yourself and put yourself, since you haven't stayed lonely. And I appreciated that. We've had some really candid conversations about how lonely it can feel to just be an entrepreneur. And so what would you encourage somebody listening out there that's either feeling lonely or getting ready to start a business? How do you safeguard being lonely in business?
I love this question so much. Yeah. You mentioned, you didn't say this word, but it triggered something in me. Master builders, like, that I'm looking for other innovators and pioneers. I watched the Lego movie, which is hilarious. There's a couple of them.
Lego Batman's my favorite.
Yes.
I like them all, but that one's my favorite.
Yes. So funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. So in the Lego movie, there's this idea of master builders, and it's every one of the Lego people can build, but there are certain people that are like called to be master builders, and they can look at a pile of blocks and their brain will just be like, I can build a car, I can build a couch, right? Like, or I can build a house, or I can build a spaceship. And I knew very early on, like, I am a master builder And we all have like our realms, right? Like I'm not Thanos. I'm not like, like I don't have a gauntlet of infinity stones in it and I'm going to take over the universe. I understand like I do have like skill set and whatever. And I can attach to people and help them. And so my brain, I started to think about that and I'm like, I need like the Avengers. Like if I can I'm a really good strategist. I'm an architect. I can connect to people. Those are my strong suits, but I knew I needed like a Tony Stark. Like I needed a MarTech specialist, somebody that could help me do all the techie like stuff that my brain just does not understand. I found that. And then I was like, I need like a designer, like somebody who can actually like illustrate these beautiful stories that I'm building with people. And that's like just a total nerd about like design and design systems and user experience and the customer journey and all these things, but like in an artistic way, that like tangible way. And so I found her. And then, so I built this team. That's where my employees came from. And that's where my model was very organic. Like I actually was like, oh, I'm just going to be like me by myself maybe, or a few people. And I realized, wow, there's beauty in like other people's expertise. And so rolling with my team has been so like amazing. And that was one aspect that I'm not alone. Like I have my team, I'm doing it with a group of people. And it's not been easy. There's a lot of challenges there. So that's like that aspect of like in-house. And then outside, what I started to realize is I am terrified of failure. Oh my gosh. I hate making mistakes. Yeah. Like with a passion. Oh my God. And I think that some people will be like, well, that's a good thing because I will fight to make it right. Like I've told my clients, like, even if our contracts close, I will stay past to make sure that everything is working. So I think there's a positive, but the negative in that is like, I found myself in the lowest pits of despair every time I failed. And I do think that this is something like I have to learn how to regulate. I have to learn how, like, we sing this song in my house now where I'm like, mistakes are, I can't even remember it, but we teach our kids like mistakes are good because we get to learn from it. And there were like these steps where I'm like, okay, I'm learning how to do all these things, but I still felt like alone on an island. And there's only so much that I wanted to talk to my team about because I learned the hard way. When I tell my team these things, they start to stress out and then they can't do their job. And so as the leader, I'm like, okay, I got to stop doing this. Yeah. And with my husband being an entrepreneur, we would talk to each other. And then it was just like, now I'm even more stressed because I'm carrying the weight of my company. Now I know what's happening in your company. Oh my God, the world's coming. Right. So I was like, something's not, I need something else. And I started investing in like coaches and mentors and communities. And the growth and the camaraderie and the love and connection that I found in other entrepreneurs was like next level. Yeah. It does not ever fix what's wrong, or like does not necessarily like take away things because I have to learn how to do that within myself. And just work through problems. Like, I know this is silly, but I thought like there will be a day when my business is just like good and I'm great and I have this amount of money and blah, blah. And my business mentor, his name is Mike Jonda. He also has a community. Go to michaeljonda.com, MCA that I'm a part of. Amazing, amazing, amazing. But he had a marketing agency for, I don't know how many years, sold it for like 30 million, worked with like Disney, Fox, like all these amazing clients. And he was like, it's always going to be hard. You're just adding zeros to the payroll, right? Like to your revenue, like whether it's 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 10 million, like there's, and I was like, yes, I was growing. Like, my jaw was like on the table. Like I thought naively, like there's going to be a point. Maybe I just get to 5 years, get to 3 years, get to 5 years. And he's like, no, Brianna, like he was even in business when COVID happened and like that, like he almost lost everything. And so, but again, having that friend, having that person to talk with me, and it's the yoking of the ox, a baby ox to a mature ox, and walk with me because, oh my gosh, like this is so freaking hard. But being able to cry with people, being able to say like, I am struggling to be mom when I'm also having to be like the FCMO of 3 companies. And like, I can't even be the FCMO of my house, you know? And so connecting with other people, oh my gosh, it is the life raft that has like kept me from drowning, like genuinely.
And I know even just if you and I have just stayed friends and we've kind of even said that to each other, like, hey, this is lonely. Sometimes I forget to reach out, but I need this relationship and I need these coffees. And so we try not to let too much time go.
Yeah.
We aren't calling each other and like checking in or like, let's do coffee. It's time for coffee. And just pairing up with somebody locally, even just to say, I just need somebody to have coffee with. I don't know what we're going to talk about today, because most of the time we don't. We're like, hey, let's just have, and we have these incredible conversations about whatever. And it's just nice to just not be the boss for a minute in a room.
Yes.
Somebody can just go like, this is what I'm kind of dealing with right now. And let me just say it out loud to somebody else. You're not expecting me to solve your problem. I don't maybe know how to solve that. And vice versa.
Yeah.
But it's just like a.
Yeah. I appreciate you so much. So much. And I don't think I've ever told you that, but like, oh my gosh. And it's funny because you mentioned how we met like randomly. And I remember thinking like, this is just a stranger, you know, and I don't know.
Standing in a parking lot for an hour.
And just like, wait, you do this, you know this, like, and finding those commonalities. And I think we're like very different as people. I think we have some similarities, but
I think a lot of our values are the same, but like how they're lived out.
Yeah. We are totally very different. Yeah. Like I'm like covered in tattoos. And I think, you know, like there's just a lot of things where I'm like, oh, we are very different, but, I don't know. And I feel like it happened very organically with us. Like I never felt forced on either end. Like I have to reach out to her. And so I think like most of my communities are all over the US. And some of my friends are even like overseas. So a lot of that stuff happens digitally. But again, going back to like the human touch point, you are very much somebody that like, we can do this. We can come person. It's so funny because I've been on other podcasts now and it's just from my home office because they're like in New York or in Massachusetts or and like when you said come to the studio, it like tripped me up. But it tripped me up because I'm like, wait, I have to drive there? What? That's so crazy.
And I know there'll be a point where we're going to be doing, you know, that same, but I'm trying
it's amazing.
to keep the in-person as much as possible.
This
I think there's
cool.
just something different when there's people in the room.
I agree.
We've got Angela in the back here.
Hi, Angela.
And
doing a great job.
It's like the light, you know, it's I don't know, there's just a different feel.
I agree.
And again, we'll go to digital because there's really cool people out there that aren't going to be able to fly or come in or don't want to. But I'm trying to keep that for as much as I can because of that in person. There's just something real and I don't know. It's just different. It's just different.
Yeah, I agree. Can I say one thing too? And then we can be done because I know you're trying to. Yeah.
But I do warn people, like they'll be like, am I at the right place? This is like a house. I know. Yes, you're in the right place. Try to tell people now.
I will say, for some reason, coming into business and being an entrepreneur myself, I did this thing in my brain where I'm like, certain entrepreneurs are like, I don't know, I painted this like avatar or persona almost that like high performing people or people that are like further along in their journey than me are like really put together, are like almost perfect, or like they have it, like they're the dream. And so even my mentor, Mike, I feel like he was so patient with me because even just talking to him, I couldn't even speak. I was so nervous all the time. And he was like, I'm just a regular person. Like he told me that several times. And now I'm like, oh my God, you guys are regular people. Like, wait, you guys are regular people? Like, the more that I come into contact with other entrepreneurs and other people, I'm like, no matter where you're at, if you're more successful or if you're further along or, you know, even like a few steps back or just starting, like I've really come to realize the depth of like, we are just regular people trying to do a thing in life. And I think that has also helped me to build community and to be a little bit more courageous and to put myself out there and to find people and connect with people that it's like, we're all just living this, we're on the same rock, you know, like we're all trying to do a portion or a version of life, you know, whatever that looks like. And so, I
don't think I think that goes back to values and going back to the people you attract or want to work with, because it really truly is a serving style of leadership. So just even when I was on council, I didn't want to lead with that because now I have the power and I want to hear from you. And if you perceive there's too much power, I'm never going to get to know you. I'm never going to get to know what the actual need is or how I serve. So I rarely led with that because I wanted you to feel like you had more power. I want you to feel empowered to tell me your story. And so I think some leaders intentionally lead that way because they don't want things to get out of balance. And it sounds like the gentleman you work with is very similar. But there's a lot of leaders I work with too, that they want to lead with the title. They want to give that structure. And I don't think it's bad or good. It's just they want to lead with structure and they want to be able to guide you somewhere and they want to take you somewhere. And I think that's that curiosity and that wonder where it's a different style. It's just and I think you lean towards the ones that want to be able to serve. And I'll lead you in that way too. But I will tend to lead out first from a more like, how can I get to know you first rather than there's a time and place for the, no, I'm in charge, let's go. But I try to really get to know the why and the who and that's just me.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting observation because one of the reasons why I chose Mike as my mentor, because I had there was like several people that I had kind of lined up and then it came down to like, okay, I need to choose one. Financially, like this is getting really costly.
Try them all on.
So like at some point I need to narrow it down. And I always give credit. Obviously, I worked hard and I did my thing, but I give credit to my first 100K deal was because Mike gave me the practical application of how to build a business. So he has like courses and curriculum and he's incredibly structured. And that's what I was first drawn to. But why I chose him, because there are other really cool people who I won't name that I got to work with and learn from. But I could tell like, there was a clash in values. Like you don't care about people the way that I do. And that's not wrong. There's not a wrong or right. It just wasn't for me. And the thing that I feel so passionate about building is genuine connection and love and service of others. And so, I would say that's why I chose him above everybody else was because he had like the practical boss business stuff and that like very structured vibe, but his values are almost the same where it's like value the person. And I never like he has pictures of like you can see it on his website, like he met Will Smith and like all these like different people, and he talked about going to like billionaires mansions and like having meetings, and I'm like, what? And like working for Disney, oh what a dream. But you would never know, like the guy is so chill and humble, and that I aspire to.
Because would you want to tell him everything?
Yes.
You would feel like this is nothing to you, but it was everything to you.
Yes.
So if he leads with all of that, then it's like, at some point you're going to like, why am I spending money? I don't even want to talk in front of this person.
Exactly.
And so how do I create an atmosphere that pulls out the best information? And so I don't know.
I agree. And again, these are the systems. I'm coming to this realization where I'm like, the systems that I was building is the system that I fell into actually. So I'm like, whoa, this is like a weird, like serendipitous, I don't know, something. Like a cycle, because absolutely, he has a community and I'm part of that community. And so I know for a fact that everyone within that community would say like, he's the type of person that makes everyone feel special. And it's not fake. Like, that's why I love Will Guidara. That's why I love Seth Godin is you can tell that these men have been to amazing places and have accomplished so much, but what anchors them, harnesses them, or what's at their core is like, I just was trying to connect with people. I just want to leave this world a little bit better. I just want to do something for someone else that is not entirely selfless, right? Because I'm paying Mike, like it's his business. But I don't know. I just heard somebody say like, I forget the opposite. It was legacy. They were talking about legacy and something else. And it wasn't a job. I can't remember how they said it, but it was something like a job is what you do and a legacy is like what you do in someone. It's like what you leave with people. And I'm so sad that I butchered it because the first part matters, but we
could put it on the later.
Yeah. Thank you. Put it like on the screen or something. But
we'll make a quote for it or something.
Yes. I like held on to like a legacy, your legacy. Cause I'm asking myself as I age, I'm like, what is legacy? There's all these like legacy, blah, 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 legacy this, legacy that, legacy members. And I'm like, what even is that? And so when I heard that definition, it's like what you leave in someone else. And and I've heard Mike is in his 50s. I don't think he'll mind me saying that. Sorry, Mike.
I'm sure he shares on Wikipedia.
He does. Yeah, like he shares it all the time.
It's on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
We're not hiding.
And I'm not saying exactly, like maybe he's 50, not 50 plus. But anyway, it's not a problem.
Now we're all going to do it.
Not a problem.
How old are you, Mike?
Mike, how old are you? So sorry. That's going to be his legacy. But he talks about like leaving a legacy too. And again, before we even started recording, we were talking about like for people who are 65 plus, like, do you still dream? Do you still like, gosh, these are really cool things that I've never thought about. And just thinking about too, like, what is my legacy going to be? What, like, I mean, it would be cool if somebody was like, she was a multimillionaire, but like, because that's what I am driven. I am so competitive. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I can't wait till I get to 7 figures. I broke 6 so easily, and it was like not enough, but that's just because I'm competitive.
It probably felt really big though when you wrote it down. You're like, oh, this is a goal.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, it'll take forever. And then you hit it and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad.
I know. Now I'm like, I need a million.
How do I do the next one?
Yeah. I feel like a Spartan. Like I just have to keep. But anyway, yes. So going back, I want like, because I just did this exercise for myself where it's like, what are your values? What do you want to be known for? And I was like crying, sobbing. Like, I want my kids at my funeral to say like, she loved us unconditionally. Like, oh my gosh, my mom loved me with everything in her being, and no matter what. And that like is so important to me. Yeah. So even in business, like, again, I know people, sorry, it's very emotional for me. Even people, I think, kind of looking and they're like, Brianna's like like emotional, or, you know, whatever they might say. But like, I genuinely want people, even in business, when they come across me or a company that I'm working with and they experience that marketing, that the RevOps, you know, experience, that they're saying like, there's something about this business that leaves me feeling like different. Like, what is that? You know, like I was cared for, somebody cared about me. It's that like bringing it all back to like having to do things alone. You're not alone. Even if it's, you know, you're buying my coffee or my mug or whatever, like, I want you to know you're not alone. There's more to it than just your money. There's more to it than just a product. But I care about you.
Well, I feel the same. I feel my purpose is to live out my purpose to the fullest ability, and to do that for my kids, help them discover what it is and to live it out, or clients, or, you know, I just, everybody, every organization, every person has a purpose, and they should be living that out. And it makes me so mad or sad when people sometimes get stuck in ruts, or they just can't figure it out. And like, that's what I think we want, to help others discover that. And so I think that's what the world needs, is like, if everybody was functioning in their like sweet spot, like, what would happen? You know, would we kind of reduce some, maybe even some competition and some other weird things that kind of throw things out. But I really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your authenticity and your friendship and just helping clients. I just think it was a practical gift that I was hoping to provide today, of just like, how can we be looking at our organizations?
I'm sorry.
No. So thank you for helping with a practical tool, sharing stories. I think this was great, and I appreciate your time and you coming out here.
Yeah, absolutely. This was so fun. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is us signing off in the briefing room. Thanks for joining us today. Click and subscribe. We podcasts come out every first and third Tuesday of the month, and we want to interact. So leave comments and follow us.